It's been close to a decade since the last entry in the XXx series, and fans are still asking the same question: when will we finally get XXX4? That kind of persistence shows just how much love people still have for Xander Cage and the wild, over-the-top action that defines these movies. Vin Diesel has been busy keeping the Fast and Furious saga alive for 10 films and even reviving his Riddick franchise for another round, so it's clear he hasn't lost his appetite for returning to older roles. Because of that, the door for XXX is definitely still open. Even though things have been quiet on the production front, the franchise isn't dead, and the possibility of Diesel suiting up again feels very real. The original XXX came out back in 2002, introducing audiences to Xander Cage, an extreme sports daredevil who suddenly finds himself working for the NSA. Instead of being just another agent, he infiltrates terrorist groups using his own reckless charm and high adrenaline stunts. The movie made an impact because it blended spy thrills with extreme sports, something totally fresh at the time. 3 years later, a sequel hit theaters, but Diesel stepped away from the role, much like he temporarily did with Fast and Furious. That left Ice Cube to carry the sequel, which didn't quite capture the same energy. The missing piece was obvious. Just like with Fast and Furious, Diesel eventually came back, leading to the 2017 release of XXX Return of Xander Cage. That film reminded audiences what made the franchise fun in the first place, and it raked in a solid box office haul. But since then, fans have been waiting for the follow-up that hasn't yet arrived. Vin Diesel has a reputation as one of Hollywood's most bankable action stars, but his career has always spanned a range of genres and roles. That's part of the reason XXX stands out. It isn't just another car chase or sci-fi saga, it's got its own blend of energy. The latest bit of news tied to the franchise came from Ruby Rose, who starred in Return of Xander Cage as sharpshooter Adele Wolfe. When asked about a fourth movie, she admitted she hadn't heard anything, joking about it like it was stuck back in the 1970s. At the same time, she made it clear she'd love to work with the cast and crew again because, in her words, they're incredible people. Her comments weren't exactly confirmation, but they also weren't a firm denial. What it really highlighted is that things are quiet, not cancelled. It might feel discouraging when there isn't any new information for so long, but Hollywood has always had strange gaps between movies. The clearest example is actually this very franchise. There was a 12-year wait between the second and third entries, so even though the timeline feels stretched right now, history shows it's still possible. And considering how much money Return of Xander Cage brought in worldwide, it makes sense that studios would still see value in another movie. If there's one thing Hollywood loves, it's proven brands. Behind the scenes, some complications slowed things down. In 2018, the H Collective, along with Vin Diesel's One Race Films, actually secured the rights to the franchise from Revolution Studios. That should have been a step toward moving forward, but then came a lawsuit from Weighing Galaxy, a company that claimed the deal broke an earlier agreement with them. Legal battles can drag on for years, and this one stretched into 2021. The outcome wasn't made fully clear to the public, and that murkiness added to the sense of delay. Still, the rights being actively fought over means there's real value in continuing the series. Nobody would go through that effort if a fourth movie wasn't potentially profitable. Looking at how the franchise has performed is a good reminder of why people still talk about it. The first film made $277 million globally, which was impressive in 2002. The second stumbled, pulling in only $71 million, but then Return of Xander Cage bounced back with $346 million. Even though critics weren't in love with any of the entries, the highest Rotten Tomatoes score is still under 50%, the audience clearly had fun, and that's what counts. Because action franchises thrive more on entertainment than reviews, XXX still has solid ground to stand on. If XXX happens, the cast is going to be key. There's no question that Vin Diesel would return as Xander Cage, because without him, there's no franchise. The third film hinted at something bigger, though, by bringing Ice Cube's character, Darius Stone, back into the mix. His arrival at the end, teaming up with Diesel, looked like a clear setup for an ensemble-style approach. It was almost as if the series wanted to mirror the larger, interconnected family vibe that made Fast and Furious explode. On top of that, there was news back in 2018 about Jay Chu and Zoe Xiang joining the cast. Even though years have passed, it wouldn't be surprising if those names, or others just as exciting, still circle the project when it kicks up again. Story-wise, there's fertile ground to explore. Director DJ Caruso talked about the idea of watching the watchers, suggesting a plot where Xander and his crew uncover corruption among powerful government figures. That would give the film global stakes, showing the team not just fighting mercenaries or terrorists, but exposing shady leaders abusing their influence. It's a premise that feels timely because audiences today are drawn to stories about questioning authority and rooting for unlikely heroes. Plus, expanding the danger to both international and domestic fronts raises the intensity and lets the movie stand out from previous installments. Now, part of what could make xXx 4 especially exciting is the chance to bring in new famous actors. Hollywood loves crossovers of talent, and Diesel has shown with Fast and Furious how adding big names keeps things fresh. Imagine someone like John Cena, who already worked with Diesel in Fast 9, stepping into this world as either an ally or a rival agent. Or a star like Zendaya, who could bring youthful energy and broaden the appeal to younger audiences. Even action veterans like Jason Statham or Charlize Theron could pop in for high-octane cameos. Casting is where the movie could really expand its universe, turning it into something bigger than just a one-man show. Another way xXx 4 could shine is by embracing the global stage. The third film already shot across international locations, but pushing that even further would help it stand out. Because audiences today love large-scale, globe-trotting adventures, the movie could feature exotic cities, remote landscapes, and extreme sports-inspired stunts on a whole new level. Imagine Xander Cage snowboarding off the side of the Alps, or diving into neon-lit streets of Tokyo, or even wingsuiting across skyscrapers in Dubai. The more outrageous and cinematic the set pieces, the more the film stays true to its spirit. Well, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because we'll be covering more updates on this soon, and other exciting upcoming movies and series. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.